You're listening to Lane County Mugshots Uncensored, the podcast.
Hey.
With your host, Michael Weber.
Hey, there I am.
And with him usually, Kevin Prachu.
Right there.
Hey, that kind of worked out, Mike. We practiced that opening like, 5-10 times before we started the show, so...
Yeah, you don't have to lie. It was 100.
Yeah, but here we are, and it seems like we've pulled it off.
There we are.
Episode 15. And I realized that we didn't turn off that fan, Mike, but I'll do that here in a second.
I know, yeah. It's annoying. It's going to get hot here in a second.
It's a warm day here in Cresswell, Oregon.
Yes, broadcasting live from a secret garage in Cresswell, Oregon.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We just lost the fan, Mike, but...
it was our only fan.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No.
Yeah. Season 3, episode 15 is where we're at today, Mike.
I know,
Can you
3
believe
years.
It? We've been doing this for 3 years now. I remember when we started the show, I think what we had was we used to joke about it. 2 laptops and a microphone.
2 laptops and 1 microphone, yeah.
2 laptops and a microphone.
Yeah, it was somewhat embarrassing, but we made it, and now people can see us, which is probably why there's what do we got?
For some
4
reason,
viewers?
For some reason, we thought, well, it's not enough that they can hear us. Maybe they would like to see us as well. I don't know, but
I don't know. Well, we can show you mugshots. I mean, you didn't come to watch our ugly mugs. You came here to see everybody else's.
Yeah. Let's tell Mike how they can be part of the show. So here we go.
Well, you can be part of the show by calling in live at any time.
No,
at
don't look at me.
541-255-3665. We are standing by for your calls. We say operators, but there are none.
There are no other people besides us sitting here in this warm.
Ain't nobody. Well, and the interns that we got
of a garage.
from KLSR.
Yeah. I want to put this up here, Mike.
What do we got?
Well, I said, and then you were talking about it. I just didn't advance the slides fast
Here, I'll
enough
do it again.
because you're like, yeah.
I'll do it again. How you can be part of the show. Comment on Facebook and YouTube. Also,
we also have the ability for people to use these old technology devices.
Yeah.
So back to the Facebook thing, because I forgot we have this slide here. If you want to actually want your comments to be included in part of the show, you want to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. That'll actually allow you to do the connector thing so that when your picture shows, you'll actually look... and have your picture show up instead.
Homer Simpson is one of our fans. That's pretty cool, actually. I mean,
Homer, yeah, totally. Springfield, man, not that far away. So, but as far as like ways to be part of the show, we wanted to let people know that there's this YouTube thing. Maybe if you're watching now, you might be watching on YouTube. You can comment right in there, and we can include your comments as part of the show.
You bet.
And then. If you're there on YouTube, we ask that you actually go and do this thing. And here's a way to get there. lcmugs.com/podcast actually gets you to our YouTube channel real quick. But the thing we really wanted to ask people to do is hey, would you go over and hit that magic subscribe button for us, please? That would be super.
Do it.
It unlocks like secret powers that we don't even know about. Like
decoder rings and I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
Saw through ice with your eyes.
Yeah.
Just because.
But, Mike, the thing that we really were going to talk about, the new, I call it newfangled, but it's the old technology. It's that thing called a telephone. Remember those things?
We actually had some like that when I was a kid.
And talk radio was all about like picking up the phone and calling in and sharing your opinions. And we'd love to have you do that. We actually set this up so you could do so. And operators are standing by.
Yeah.
So give them the number, Mike. Tell them how they can be part of the show.
You can be part of the show during any part of the show by simply just dialing our phone number, 541-255-3665. Again, 541-255-3665. Let's talk.
Oh, yeah. let's do it. All right.
Not.
Until people call in, we do have a few comments that we want to show here. So let's.
Sure. What do we got?
Here we got hello from Bakersfield.
That's Dispatch Kit. She's part of the program down there with Robert.
Oh, the NLM Entertainment. Yes. Thank you for
thank you,
back
Kit.
to you. Welcome.
Howdy.
Appreciate it. So, and also another comment here, which was I don't know what that means.
I don't know. It's gone. Well, it's kind of there.
Okay. And hey guys, from Linda Thomas. That's my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
She's actually like
I can just turn around and wave at her. Hey,
you can throw rocks at your place, Linda. So,
hey.
Don't
say that online. People will know.
Okay. And Nancy McKnight also says, "Hey guys."
Yeah. Hi Nancy.
Hi Nancy. Back to you. So
hi Linda. I'll try to keep it down while we're next door.
See how easy it is to be part of the show. That's all it takes. So let us get right into it, Mike. So
yeah, let's see what we got going on.
And here we go. That's the sex offenders. The part of the show I really don't like to do, but we must.
I know.
So
you want to know, we want to know, but really, we just want them to go away.
Yeah.
I mean, where? I don't know. I mean, never mind.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
All right. I shoved us down into the lower corner here so that we can make these nice and visible for people to see. August 16th through September 5th. So that's about 3 weeks, Mike. We did kind of a skip.
Yeah, we shifted our schedule to make up for birthday parties and other things.
So don't forget, I'm going to ask you, and make sure you remember how many we've talked about here.
For the love of Pete. Come on.
Yeah. All right. First one, getting right to
pen
business.
And paper? Can I have pen and paper? No.
No, that's cheating. Going right again, and we do the failure to report. These are the ones that just, whatever, didn't want to do their duty as a...
They're already convicted. The best part, they're already convicted. Yeah. So there's no question.
Yes.
But let's see what we got here.
Oh, Michael Anthony Condet, failure to report as a sex offender, both as a felony and a misdemeanor, on Wednesday, August 18th. Moving on, Austin Allen Long. Go ahead, take it, Mike.
Oh, what has he got? I'm trying to see here. It'd be nice if we had a bigger screen, but he has carrying concealed possession knife, criminal mischief, second degree, failure to report as a sex offender misdemeanor, and theft in the second degree. Stay home, Austin.
Yeah, pillar of the community for sure.
Go.
Michael Maurice Schwammelen.
Oh, this guy is like every week.
I know.
Every episode.
It seems like we've talked about him multiple times. So
yeah,
he has failed to report at least 4 times as a felony charge, and then an additional charge as a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
So moving on. Our
Jared Lemo.
Yeah, there's our Mo again.
Yeah, there's Mo.
We've had him in here at least a few times too.
We have, and his uncle or dad or whatever was the BB gun bandit back in the day.
Yeah.
But go ahead and tell us what he's got, Kevin.
Well, failure to report, failure, in recklessly endangering and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle.
So a stolen vehicle, somebody in the car, he was driving poorly and forgot that he was a sex offender. That's okay, Jared. We didn't.
This is usually about the time that we remind people like this to just stay the hell home,
Yeah.
Because
Jared, go home, Jared.
So again, we explained this multiple times, but we'll do it again just real quick because it's what we do. But this is somebody who is actually out doing some other things. So they'd already been convicted of their crime, okay?
Yeah.
And so now they're just like, and so they could have stayed home and just stayed out of the spotlight and never been featured again on our show or in the mugshots or anything like that. But no.
Or they could have just registered.
Yeah, they could have just done their reporting as everything. But no, absolutely. They have to go out and do other things, and so that brings them back onto our show again, and that puts their previous crimes back in the spotlight.
I mean, here's a good point. If you check out our show, if you've been watching our show for some time, we do not highlight people who register as sex offenders. If you do not register, then you get highlighted. So all you have to do, and no one will know, is go register. Keep registered. Keep your address up. Do your yearly. Yeah. Just do it. Do it.
Well, the thing of it is that, I'm sure that nobody wants to do that. That's the one
thing. Yeah, it's so tough.
If you try to figure out all the things that I don't want to do today is maybe to go down and register and report as a sex offender.
Or you're on our show.
But at the same time, when you don't, there are consequences. So you're doing better off just to do your civic duty in that case. So anyway, since they won't stay home, they're on our show, and here we are.
So that's it. So we had 3.
A few.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry, Alicia slipped in here on September 5th.
Alicia Faye Jones.
Yeah, so she also has some failure to appear in unauthorized motor vehicle use, but also the failure to report. So that takes
pretty rare female.
Yeah, we don't have many, and we almost kind of every time we do kind of tend to point that out because most of our offenders are male.
Yeah.
So.
So those are failures.
Yeah.
Now we can get on to a different type of failure.
Takes us to the alleged crimes. And so everything that you're hearing about is we'll just have to wait till everything plays out in court. So
these are alleged failures. If there are any in here that have actually been convicted, I'll let you know.
Okay. And I did try to put that in the notes for you, Mike. So let's see what we find.
Let's see what we got. What do we got?
Well, we got this pillar of the community. Here's Thomas Ray Oliver Mode, and God, look at those charges.
Yeah. What does he got? Giving liquor to a minor or intoxicated person, rape in the second degree, sex abuse in the first degree, sex abuse in the first degree, sexual penetration in the second degree, sodomy in the second degree, 2 more of those, and unlawful delivery of marijuana to a minor.
All right. Another one of those stories that actually you can almost read the charges and then okay, well, this is what happened. He basically lured minors with drugs and liquor and then
marijuana.
And basically that's the door. That's the gateway in to all of these other charges. And it's very easy.
He was released probably pre-trial recently, so we'll see what happens.
It's sad to even think about these people even being out there. It really is.
It is.
All right.
What do we got coming up?
Well, now we got this guy, Craig Larson Patterson.
Yeah, hopefully they did not name that street after.
Holy crap, look at those charges, Mike. Hit and run. Felon in possession of weapon, a couple of those. Online sexual corruption of a child. That's about where I'm about ready to shoot you. Sorry.
With a Nerf gun. That's our favorite saying here. Shoot him with a Nerf gun.
You know what I'm talking about, Mike.
Shoot him with a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
That's what we mean.
Yeah. And then attempting to elude the police. Well, yeah, because you're doing all these things, and then reckless driving. So, anyway.
Craig, stay home.
This one, just a single charge, sex abuse charge for Michael David Workover.
I believe he's also been released pre-trial.
Already released.
Yeah, some I know, some I don't. If I don't say anything about them being released or not, then I don't know. But if I know, I'll mention it.
Okay. Moving on, we also have now Adrian Fernandez, online sexual corruption of a child. And then alter identification of firearms. So he's probably doing something with the serial
grinding
number.
off the serial number. I doubt he's really altering it like he's changing it, but he's grinding it off.
New serial number here.
Yeah.
And then an indictment, of some kind that we have no idea.
Well, so they had a grand jury on his his charges, and the grand jury said, "Let's do it."
Yeah.
What do we got? We got any more comments?
We do. So get him is what. I don't know which person you were talking about, but we'll get them all.
Yeah.
Any of these bad guys
it works with any of them.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, Mike. Then we also have Jessie Lee Wilson.
Jessie Lee Wilson.
Sex abuse charge in the first degree. Sexual penetration in the first degree. Yeah. It's a felony. You can't do that.
Yeah. Stay home, Jesse.
Yeah. Arthur Dale Escape, criminal driving, suspended, revoked, but also harassment and a sex abuse charge, third degree.
Yeah.
Yep.
These guys are out of control.
Yeah. So you keep a count, Mike. We're up to August 24th now, but hopefully you're keeping count and know what's going on. Because I don't. I've lost count already. So.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Moving on.
I just make a guess.
Yeah. William Paul.
Whooms.
I
don't know. This guy actually, as far as I know, he was sentenced, and I can't remember the sentence for sure, but he is guilty attempt to commit a crime. What else we got? Display child sexual conduct and sex abuse in the first degree. Sex abuse in the first degree.
Yeah. Pretty much a bad guy.
Pretty sure he's not innocent until proven guilty. He's already been convicted. Okay. If I remember right.
All right. Well, we can update that on the next show if needed. So, then we also have this one, and this is one of those where I don't know why we don't get the photo. I really hate it when we don't get the photo, and I didn't have a chance to see if there was any old ones in there. So this is what we got. This guy.
Eric James Ewell. Like Ewell go to prison? No, I don't know.
You're screwed.
I know. James Ewell be in prison.
Yeah, felony charges, 3 of them, encouraging child sex abuse in the first degree. On to then Dale Anthony Wagner.
Wagner.
Yep. So
I believe he was. There's so many of them.
I know they pass through. Yes, they do.
I'm pretty sure that he was also found guilty, but we'll move on. I don't know for sure.
Okay. Well, you see the charges. He's sex abuse in the first degree, sexual penetration in the first degree, sodomy in the first degree. These are all alleged charges that when we put it on our show and you see the words alleged, it's because that's what they are.
We're going to stick with alleged, but I'm pretty sure this next one I know he has been convicted, and I actually know his sentencing. This is Joshua Caleb. I don't know how you
Peterson.
pronounce it. Peterson.
Yes.
I almost messed that one up.
No, I think you were closer than I was, Mike.
Joshua Caleb Peterson. Peterson.
Encouraging child sex abuse in the 1,000.
10 of them.
Yeah, 10 of them.
10 of them. He pled guilty. We are certain as to how many counts he pled guilty to. He pled guilty to all 10. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison and 3 years post-prison supervision. So, hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Have fun up there.
That's one of the people that you would really hope would have stayed home. Would have hoped, we even had a comment here in Lane County Mugshots. He is a sick mother. Because we're on YouTube and Facebook here. Facebook more
so
filters us.
We can't say the word Taco Bell.
Yeah, right. Oh no, don't say Taco Bell,
don't
man.
Say Taco Bell, Pizza Hut,
apparently he
KFC.
used to work there. So you guys can go to Taco Bell on River Road now. He used to work there.
He's making license plates now. That's what I've been told.
Moving on, Mike. Here we go. Rick Michael Abbott.
Yeah. Online sexual corruption of a child. We don't have any information on this yet. He has not gone to prison or been convicted, but we have had a lot of Eugene Police Department stings lately for this particular charge. And so it may turn out that we get an update on this from EPD at some point. This may have been part of a sting. He may have actually been trying to, he may have been actually talking to a child instead of a police officer. So we don't know.
Wow.
But they've been doing stings, and it blows my mind that they do these like week after week after week.
And we talk about them on our show, and they're publicized.
It's on Lane County Mugshots. There's 65,000
sting operations,
people.
You guys, you stupid idiots, stay home.
Don't. But they're doing it anyway.
It's almost like it's a challenge, a personal challenge. Oh, well, they're not talking about me.
I know, yeah. The police are doing a sting, but I'm still doing my stuff. Oh, this cannot be a police officer. Whatever, you're just getting caught left and right. I'm just glad that the intelligence level works with the sting.
Very much so, yeah.
The best I can put it.
Mike, we're going to move on to this guy here, and just even the picture is kind of creepy looking. It's like, oh shit.
Are we going to deal with him just here, or do we have him in another segment? I think this is it, isn't it?
I think this is it, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you got?
This is Derek Van Nelson, not to be confused with anybody else with that same name. He has 4 counts of sex abuse in the first degree, 4 counts of sodomy in the first degree. Derek here had these charges for quite some time. He was on a pretrial release. They went ahead and said, we're going to let you out. Somebody, maybe his parents, maybe his best friend, maybe the church took up a collection, but they put up $10,000 of his $100,000 bail so that he could be released pre-trial, so he could spend some time with his parents before going up to the big house.
Oh, wow. So he could spend some time with his parents.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so glad.
Isn't that nice?
I'm so glad that you got to spend some time with your
playing
parents.
and
Yes.
stuff, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
But here's what Derek did: is he went to all of his court stuff except for the trial.
Oh, that thing.
He had even
Really, the trial? He didn't even go to that?
No, it appears from court records that they had or were trying to work on a plea agreement. But at any rate, on the 26th of last month, Derek saws off or whatever, I don't know, he breaks his GPS ankle monitor off.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, geez.
And takes off.
Yeah.
He's like, that's it.
I'm done.
I'm out of here.
Yep.
And then, I had made some comments about, I don't think we're dealing with a master criminal here. And I also said he looks like, and I don't mean this badly, but he looks like a man that requires quite a bit of food, and living out in the woods is not as easy as you think. And then lo and behold, can we go back to his picture real quick? Can we just bring his mugshot up?
Yeah, hang on
Because
here.
I'd like to speak to a couple things, and not to make fun of him, but to me, he definitely looks like a defeated, like Pixar evil villain. But here's the thing.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, it looks like they caught him. Yeah. But he shaved his head, and he has had what's known as a chin strap beard for ever and ever with his arrests. And he shaved all that off and evidently got rid of his contact lenses and put on some evil villain glasses to hide his secret identity.
Yeah, didn't help, did it?
But I will say this, though. The arrest record leads me to believe that he may have turned himself in because the arresting agency for his arrest is the jail. So it's a pretty rare thing to have the jail arrest you. It's not unusual.
Right.
And we don't need Tom Jones to sing that in the background, but it's not unusual to be arrested by the jail. I could almost sing it to that. But at any rate,
yeah, this little karaoke after the show, Mike.
It's not unusual. But it isn't unusual. A lot of times if you go through court, you're found guilty, they will release you and let you, do your thing for a bit, and then you come back for sentencing, you go to prison, or in between sentencing, they'll be like, okay, well, you were sentenced, you're going to be up for 13 months, whatever. You have to turn yourself into the jail on Friday. So at any rate, it's not unusual for the jail to be arresting people, but at 10:30 at night, what I perceive here is that he turned himself in, and whether he called ahead of time or not, I believe he turned himself in, and we're actually waiting to hear back from either Lane County Sheriff's Office or the Eugene Police Department.
Okay.
Eugene Police Department was the original arresting agency, so I believe that this is their case in a manner of speaking. I mean, they're not bringing it to trial, but they're the arresting investigative agency, I believe is EPD, but being that he was arrested by the jail, that kind of turns that little section of it into Lane County Sheriff's Office. But we're waiting to see if we can find something now. But either way, I mean, he is in. I mean, and he has been on the run since the 26th of last month, and he turned himself in.
Well, good.
Yeah.
At least in that regard. Now, Mike, you had mentioned something, and we talked about this on our last program, actually, but we can mention it again because apparently this one may also qualify for Jessica's Law.
It may. From what I'm hearing, and I believe one of the victims, this is... victims are very young at the time this happened, and we believe that from what we've heard, that at the time these alleged crimes, and you have to admit he has not been to court yet, so we need to speak properly. These alleged crimes may qualify for Jessica's Law. So only 4 of these charges at best would qualify the sodomy in the first degree, and we don't know who those apply to. We're not digging into anybody's personal life and trying to find out way too much information, but the information I have is that at least, I don't know how many victims, and we're not trying to assume anything here, but he could possibly, if it's one victim that was under 12, 125 years or more in jail. Prison.
Jeez, wow.
Prison. And we're really all hoping at this point, because it looked like he was making a deal. He had a settlement conference, and he didn't go to that. and miss the trial and everything.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. I'm hoping that he can get 25 years apiece for the sodomy charges under Jessica's law, if that applies to every one of them. And let's put him in jail for 100 years consecutively, not concurrently. Let's not stack these charges, Judge. Let's do this. Let's show people you don't do this to children, and you don't run away from the judicial system.
I really only have like one thing to say about this guy, man. Mike, this guy is just really a piece of...
That looks like chocolate ice cream. What is that? Don't you have a sound effect for this somewhere?
No, I did. Go ahead, hit the button, Mike.
That one?
The upper right, yeah.
All right, here we go.
As many times as you want. I just added that, man. This guy is a piece of crap.
And that ice cream makes this noise. So does he.
Yeah.
Yeah, we rarely kind of give out our opinions on these, but there isn't anything I've heard good. And he ran away. I mean, if there's any way to try to convince, us people, us armchairs, they call us in Lane County Mugshot Sun Center, the armchair lawyers, like we're lawyers. I mean, I can read a law. Yeah. That's why Jessica's law can apply, but it's up to the judge. At any rate, I mean, we're all just sitting back here going like, give him 125 years. Give him 125 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Give him 125 years.
What he deserves, basically. Yeah.
I mean, this guy ran away. I mean, that's like saying I'm guilty. I mean, if you're innocent, I get it. You're scared, but innocent people, I don't know.
I don't think that's what's going on here. I'm just going to say.
To me, it just seals it. If there was any question in my mind, this, the act of running away does it. But he turned himself in. I mean, because literally, it takes quite a bit of money to feed this guy. And I'm just saying right now that, he's looking at 3 hots and a cot for the rest of his life.
Pretty much. Oh, wow. That's an interesting. Yeah. I had not heard that one before, Mike.
3 hots and a cot. Come on. That's
well, what this does now, Mike, is it takes us to that point, the show where we need to know. And if you'll tell us how many offenders do you think that we had, Mike?
I don't know. I could probably guess the
6?
The heat in degrees in
52.
This. Yeah, 652. No, that's less than
29.
652. Jesus. I'm going to go with
6.
God, I'm going to go with 12.
12. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, what happened there? Do I get started over?
No.
Okay, I'm still going to go with 12.
Sorry, you're hosed.
What do you mean I'm hosed?
12?
I won last week. Probably
12,
won this week.
You think it's 12?
12.
Okay, well, let's find out if you were right or not.
Sheesh.
And the answer is, oh, you lose, Mike. Sorry. Like you just couldn't count the offenders or what?
Yeah, I didn't have enough fingers. I was, 4, 19, 6, divided by 4, carry the 7.
Well, the real answer here today, Mike, is, and here it is, 16 offenders in a 3-week period have been through the Lane County Jail. So,
yeah. What do we got for the whole year now?
The whole year now. So you think it's almost like a daily occurrence. We're at right now 214, and
wow,
yeah. We have actually had, and I think I had this in the slide somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, right here.
357 days.
257.
257.
You need new glasses.
Yes.
We'll work on that next.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
257. Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah. We're kind of like, 3/4 into the year right now. And yeah, so 257 days, 214 offenders. It's not quite one per day. But we would like to at least acknowledge the good work that law enforcement does to help keep these scumbags in jail. So
put them away, and we will. Yeah, there you go.
Hit that as many times as we can, or we could just give them the gong or sad horn.
Oh,
you guys suck.
We need a toilet flushing. That's what we need. That's the sound I want.
On to news, Mike. Here we go. It's this one here, and the sound effect went away. I don't know why, but if we wanted to do one, it would be, What
do we got for him?
Yeah.
We got a good one?
Is this it? Alan Moten, a disorderly subject down near the library, which is a place that I frequent often when I'm working. So I work in that building.
You're a librarian?
Yeah, something like that. I'm an IT professional, and I work on the 4th floor.
So you're a libertarian. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now that it always concerns me when we have action around there, and that's what happens when you put a bus station right across the street from the library, is that pretty much it's going to attract good people and not so good people.
Well, it attracts people, so you get a little of everything.
Yeah. Well, police responded to the library on September 2nd after a man began throwing rocks at security guards. Responding officers received information that the man was carrying a knife. They tried to detain him. Alan Moten, age 30, of Eugene, ran toward a large group of pedestrians. Struck a 35-year-old man in the head after the man entered the intersection, knocking the victim to the ground. After police deployed a less than lethal round of something, I can't remember what it was. Sponge
round.
Moten stumbled to the ground, but then proceeded to flee again. A plainclothes EPD detective blocked Moten's escape. Moten was arrested with the assistance of additional officers who had arrived on the scene. He was sentenced. Sentenced. He was arrested.
He's been arrested.
Sorry, Mike.
I think he's been arraigned, he hasn't been sentenced yet.
And he was transported to the Lane County Jail for assault in the 1st degree, assault in the 2nd degree, criminal mischief in the 1st degree, and criminal mischief in the 2nd degree. Disorderly conduct in the 2nd degree, interfering with a police officer, and escape in the 3rd degree.
Yeah, I think those charges changed.
Some of them have
a little
changed
bit
since
at
then.
There is no.
They always do.
There is no 1st degree assault anymore.
Okay.
After he was.
Does he still have the 2 warrants?
Oh yeah, he's got a lot of warrants.
Yeah, okay.
But I'd just like to add that a lot of people in the group were like, well, so did he stab that guy in the head? And
because I remember this.
So I contacted EPD to try to see, and you guys got to understand, I mean, there are times EPD just won't tell anyone, and it's not a bad thing. They're in the middle of an investigation. They'll only let out certain amounts of it until the investigation or, the case is closed. But I was told that they have no information on the laceration to the guy's head, except for that it was blunt force trauma and it was not the blade of the knife. Now, you can assume all you want from there, that he was not, as it were, poorly grammared. He was not stabbed in the head. It was not a blade. He was not sliced. It says blunt force trauma. It was not the blade of the knife. But, I mean, if that clears it up, I mean, to me, I want to know even more. But, I mean, we should be so lucky to get any information on an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, definitely. Mike, we have lots of comments here, and we have someone here, Michael, who has kind of commented a few times in here. Some of the comments are just too big for us to display. And then we're even kind of being called out, and someone is even saying, like, what crimes have you two committed? Well, whatever. Christ. That's we're not here to debate that.
I was arrested once for what was it? Oh man, it was 2004.
Something.
Contempt of court.
Yeah.
They said I hadn't changed my address, and then I'm like, brought in all the envelopes they were sending me and went, but you sent me stuff. So they dropped it. So yeah, that's my big crime. I'm a gigantic contempt of court.
Yeah, he's a hardened criminal. Certainly somebody that I worry about having my children.
It says CC
I'm just kidding.
On it, contempt of court, man.
But usually that's what happens, Mike, when somebody is not happy with the kind of things that we do here, like showing the criminals and stuff like that, is they usually try to deflect and say, oh, well, what about you guys?
Yeah, we may have.
That's not what this is about.
We post one of their friends?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanks a lot, but that's, whatever.
Nice try.
Yeah. Mike, moving on. We have this Derek Van Nelson.
There he is again.
What do you know about this one, Mike?
Well, we kind of covered him. He's the evil villain from a Pixar film with the glasses.
Yeah.
This is him again. This
Are
kind
you
of
serious? The same dude?
It's the same
I
guy.
didn't even
Look at
catch
him.
this before.
See,
I was
he's
putting the
different.
slides together and I didn't even put it together.
But yeah, he's
Okay, so this is the guy that shaved himself and wore the glasses.
yeah. I mean, I swear it looks like a Pixar villain.
Oh, okay, yeah, totally. The evil Dr. Evil or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But and so we've already covered this basically, and they were kind of attempting to locate him, but obviously he's been found. All right. Then this, Mike, earlier this morning, this is actually fresh news.
This is news. What do we got here? Early morning, just past midnight, SPD responded to a report of an armed dispute on Janus Street. During the dispute, one subject was hit with a gun. It says gun, but it was, well, whatever. We'll just go with gun because everybody argued. He was later located walking in the area with 2 large lacerations on his head. The suspect fled the area at a high rate of speed. The suspect's vehicle was located near Aspen Street. A pursuit ensued on to Centennial Boulevard and into Eugene. The vehicle came to stop at MLK at Kings Row. In Eugene, the subject fled on foot into the wooded area near the apartment complex. Eugene police assisted in the area search for the subject. The search included 2 canine officers. Ultimately, the subject was not located. Officers located a rifle inside the car along with other evidence. The subjects interviewed do not appear to be fully cooperating with the investigating officers.
Oh, that's no surprise.
Yeah.
So, real quick, Mike, before we talk about that weapon or whatever that's in the car here, it seems like we've lost your audio a little bit, and I just want you to check your microphone cable right here, like I'm doing. Here, just make sure that that's all nice and tight.
Is that better?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I think
it is.
I'm on.
Yeah, I hear you. So there was just a little something there, and I was trying to extend my microphone to you while you were reporting that.
Anyone with information is asked to call the Springfield Police Department at 541-726-3714.
All right, sounds good. And now, Mike, let's talk a little bit about that. What do you call that? We're looking at it. It's on the screen, and it looks like a gun. But you tell me, what are we talking about here? Because it's a little bit.
Well, the problem here, and I think my microphone might be off again, but I think the problem here is everybody wants to be a weapons expert. And there I am back. Everybody wants to be a weapons expert, and if you start Googling definitions, that's a rifle. It doesn't matter. People are like, it's a carbine. Rifle is about the rifling of the barrel. People were arguing if it was an M4 or an AK. I don't really care. There it is. And there it is. And the thing is, that's not even important anymore. It's finding the suspect that is. So there you go.
And the suspect is on the loose right now,
Yeah.
is what you're saying. Oh, wow.
We will just
Crazy.
call that a weapon because, I mean, we have had these giant keyboard warriors that are arguing online on Lane County Mugshots Uncensored. That's a carbine. That's a rifle. That's an M4. That's an AK. You can't tell. You don't know. You're an idiot. You're a moron. And it's like, come on. Jesus Christ. You going to help look for this guy?
Right, yeah. Let's kind of focus on the most important thing here, which is this guy is on the loose.
Here's a weapon that's off the streets now, so it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Let's just call it weapon off the street. And the guy didn't even fire it from what we're hearing. Yeah. He probably more than likely rifle butted somebody, took the butt and hit them in the head with it. We don't even have that information. It just says the subject was hit with a gun. And but at any rate, for all the weapons PhD experts out there who would like to argue about this, meanwhile the rest of us are going to move on. We're going to see if we can't help locate this guy, who, according to KZI, I don't think I have this up, but KZI said something about him being white, in his 20s, bald, wearing black shorts with white stripes on him. But that's I don't know. That's from KZI. I didn't hear that from Springfield Police. Okay,
yeah. Well, anyway, it's bad news, definitely.
Yeah.
Mike, we're going to slide over here, too, and...
I've got a question here. It goes, did they ever find out if that was the stolen car that was posted several times? Gypsy, I'm sure that's your real name. I won't even try with your other real name. But Gypsy, what I can tell you is I am fairly certain from the information that I've been given that blue vehicle is the dark black Honda that people have been looking for I don't know,
wow.
over a week now, that had Arkansas plates. I can't really say it's confirmed, but I'm going to say you're probably going to find out that blue Honda is the Arkansas plated Honda that was missing from in the Barger Cubic Street area. But great question, Gypsy.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Mike, there was an apartment fire. I'm going to move over to this slide. And
that's not the fire, but
it's not. No, it's not the fire.
This just depicts a building that's burning, which this one may or may not be.
Yeah, this one didn't even get to be too big. I think it was caught really early, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was caught very early.
Yeah.
This man,
it could have been this fire. Let's just put it that way. It could have been this.
Well, it could have turned into that.
Been, yeah.
Somebody's quick thinking. But David Cruz Snyder, age 21, he is accused of lighting a fire at a, it's like a mental health halfway house. A staff member had heard the fire alarm going off and found an apartment that had an item. You just cut me off. That had an item on fire inside. She put water on it to get it extinguished. The facility is a short-term housing for patients with mental health issues. The suspect left the facility shortly after the fire was started. He was found and arrested at a local hospital the next day. He is being charged with arson in the first degree.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
it could have been way worse, but somebody caught it early, which is great. It's just unfortunate that happened. So I don't know what his motive was behind that, but it was certainly something.
A lot of people are saying that he has, severe mental issues. I've looked through some of his court records, and I've never seen anybody ask for an evaluation, or like an Oregon State Hospital eval or hold. So, I mean, I'm not saying he is or isn't.
Right.
I'm just saying the court is certainly not treating him as though he's unable to help in his own defense.
Yeah. Well, this may change things, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm all for people getting the best defense they can.
Yeah. We also had a motorcycle chase here recently. This was on September 2nd. An officer observed a man on motorcycle committing several traffic violations on Centennial Boulevard while attempting to make a traffic stop. The man sped away from the patrol vehicle that was following and kept going towards 16th Street through the McKinsey-Willamette Hospital parking lot, and then returning back to 16th Street. The officer continued pursuing Carson southbound on 16th Street to Main Street. Basically a big chase. The motorcycle and the officer drove east on Main to 14th, and then the motorcyclist tried to turn left on 14th, but wasn't able to make the turn. He drove up on the curb and crashed into a rock.
Yeah, there's a lot of the members in Lane County Mugshots Uncensored who were very concerned and wanted to know if we could see pictures of the rock. They were very concerned if it was hurt.
Yeah, right. And the rock, we're happy to report, is in good shape. So
the rock is fine.
Yeah, the rock is fine. An officer stopped Carson and found him lying on the ground. Medics arrived, and he was taken to Sacred Heart, and then was eventually cited. So,
and that is a 2020 mugshot.
Right. That's not his current mugshot. That's an older one.
A current mugshot.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Somehow we're still not getting your audio as best as we can, Mike, but I think we're getting enough to make it work. So we're going to move on here to EPD arrested Amanda Lane Bryant, 37, of Waldport, Oregon, for aggravated theft in the first degree by deception. This is kind of an interesting one to me, Mike.
Yeah.
I just don't even know if I can understand this.
It's like a gold digger, but not so much digging, just quite a bit of gold.
Okay. And do you know anything about it, Mike? I mean, can you help us out with that? Or I know that basically this person was trying to sell basically gold that she painted it or something. She did something to it.
I'm not sure about how or what she did. I feel more like she somehow got access to what would be counterfeit gold bars.
Oh, okay.
And
you can buy these on the internet, I think.
Yeah, I think there is a way to buy these on the internet, and they're fake. But she had them packaged up, and they look quite real. And she sold whatever, $18,000, or was it $1,800? I'm not seeing it on there.
Uh-huh.
But
No, it was $18,000.
$18,000.
Mm-hmm.
She was selling these out of suitcases and stuff to people,
Yeah.
claiming that they were, whatever, 99.9 or whatever it is that particular branding of gold bars was.
Yeah.
And the buying and selling of these gold bars is perfectly legal as long as they are real gold bars, and these were not.
Yeah, certainly not. Yeah.
And somebody complained that they weren't, and they kind of set up a little sting.
Yep.
And caught her, and as you can see in the picture, she is far from happy right now.
No, she doesn't look like she's too pleased about this. Yeah.
Yeah, what was her name again? Wasn't it?
Amanda Lane Bryant.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Laney Bryant.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, she's not a happy camper, and she has theft one aggravated. So it was over $10,000.
It's interesting because you see the term or the charge aggravated theft, and you just think, well, was somebody pissed off when they were stealing? No,
well,
that's not.
It's kind of it. I mean, what she did was aggravating.
Yeah.
But it just means it's a different level, and instead of trying to have another level of it, they aggravated that charge, which means that it went from 1,000, I believe it is, to 10,000 and over. So.
Okay, interesting. So, yeah, definitely not good news there.
Yeah. Amanda should have stayed home.
Should have stayed at home.
And I don't know. I mean, would she be considered a gold digger? I don't know.
Come on, Mike.
Not old enough to be a cougar, but possibly a gold digger.
Who knows?
37.
Certainly, $18,000 wouldn't have been a bad haul if she had gotten away with it.
Yeah.
So we also had, and then we're just kind of moving to our last slides as we're kind of finishing out here,
Sure.
Mike, is that somebody had asked, and this is a completely random subject. So they wanted to know, because a lot of times we see in our call logs, or somebody will report that there's gunshots, but why are they always reported as gunshots?
Well, when I answered on this question, I
remember.
And this got out of line really quick. Somebody started posting urban myths to this thread about this, but Dawn asks if I can ask, why is every noise reported as a gunshot? And I said, well, I think honestly that, Occam's razor kind of answer is that people aren't really familiar with the difference between a gunshot, these smaller, like Hondas with turbos that are releasing, and fireworks. I mean, fireworks and gunshots are very similar action. This is the explosion of chemicals that makes a large bang and then produces either a bullet out the end of a gun or rifle, or, sparkles up in the air. But the thing is that people aren't really familiar with the sound of a gunshot. And here's the deal. It doesn't even matter. Do you know how dry it is outside? I mean, it's so dry right now, you just mention the word fire. Something's going to catch on fire. So who cares if it's a gunshot or a firework? Call it in. It's really the best bet. But I said that people aren't familiar with that. And then somebody responded saying that people are calling in gunshot calls as gunshot calls to get better police response to a gunshot call. And I'm like, I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so you literally think that there's nothing going on, there's anything, and they just call it in as a gunshot in order to get the police to come out quicker for a gunshot call? And they said yes. And I was like, well, that's plausible. I just don't think that's really happening. I don't think people are getting on the phone and going, I think I heard a gunshot. And I tried to explain to them too that when there is, like, let's say a house fire, what 911 gets is cluster calls. And they are clustered around that area. Mainly, you get people that drive by and then they call later, but mainly you get a cluster call. If there's a fire at the corner of 11th and Bertelsen, for instance, I'm just making this up because Dairy Mart or 7-Eleven's not on fire, but if there's a fire at 11th and Bertelsen, you get a cluster of people in that area calling in. And the same thing goes with these gunshots, is they're getting cluster of calls. when you go look at the CAD calls, you're not seeing every call that was made. You're seeing the call that was made. And maybe, 3 other people called it in, 20 other people called it in, 2 other people called it in, whatever it is. Okay. There's what's called cluster calls because that noise existed. But at any rate, yeah, it's an urban myth. People are not calling in gunshot calls to get the police to come faster to gunshot calls.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. All right.
What do we got up next?
Good to know. Well, we do have this here, Mike, and this is almost kind of old news, but we need to bring it up here. It actually happened like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it happened the night or the morning of our last show.
Yeah, of our last podcast, yeah.
And what we have here is Danny Ray Young, 49 of Springfield, finally turned himself into police. He was initially charged with hit and run and driving while suspended. It's hit and run felony. The victim is a Eugene woman named Laura, and I am very sorry if I ruined this name.
Maverine.
Mm-hmm. She was in her 40s who had a bicycle. The crash occurred at the intersection of 11th and Olive. And at the time we got this information, major crash investigation was still investigating this. And I'm not sure where they are with their investigation right now. But Danny Ray Young was never charged with any other charges and has been let out pre-trial for his felony, hit and run, leaving the scene of an accident that caused damage or death.
And this guy has been in the smoke shots before, is that right, Mike?
He has. He's been in court over 30 times, and mainly his charges have to do with driving.
Okay.
So
very interesting.
Just saying. I mean, he's got a lot of other ones. We're not going to go into all of it. But, it's an interesting amount of arrests. But, a woman lost her life, for whatever reason, however it came about to be. Danny Ray Young ran her over. He's alleged to have ran her over, and then he left the scene of the accident, which is what most people are very upset about overall. And it's a tragedy. I mean, I know people that have been good friends with this woman for, since she was a child. And there is no one out there who said anything bad about this woman. She would take anybody in. She worked for a friend of ours that we know.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's a tragedy. Everybody's like, she was just such a nice woman. It was so shocking for the people that knew her. To find out.
There's a lot about this that will come out in time, I think, that will be interesting for folks, but right now it's a developing case. So
right now it's a felony hit and run, which means felony, it was a hit and run where there was a grave injury or death to the person that was hit.
Wow. These are the types of things that I really just hate talking about on our show, Mike. I really do.
Yeah, and he's out.
Yeah,
he's out pre-trial.
Well, that takes us then to our neighborhood watch tip of we would call it the week, but every other week or whatever it is, and it's don't let strangers in. Now, this one may seem like really obvious, right? Don't let the strangers into your house, but actually, as it turns out, and this is a guy, I don't know, they call him Joey Salad. I don't know who this guy is, but he went around, and this is back in 2015. He actually started to do these videos where he would collaborate with parents and actually create a situation in which the parents would be up in the shower, or dad's at work and mom's at home in the shower, and then this guy would come to the door, and it was very easy, very, very easy. He found in almost every case to create a situation in which they would let him in.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great that he did it the way he did. So the parents were online. This wasn't a scary situation.
No,
He didn't do anything that was weird. He just got the children to let him in the house, and then. I imagine, I think I've heard of this, he sits down with the parents and they talk to the children. See how easy that was?
Yep.
Your mom and dad and I, we made this happen. You were not in any danger at any time, but look how easy this was.
Very educational, and I know that even though this was 2015, it's probably just as true today as it was back then. So definitely parents, work with your children to make sure they understand how to treat those situations. It's very... Very, very important.
Got to teach your kids.
Yeah. All right, Mike, here we go. Our people want to know, inquiring minds, what is in Mike's hand?
Well, earlier I had some juice, but right now I've got some. Well, I'm gonna try to mispronounce it. LaCroix.
Yeah, good.
I think it's LaCroix.
LaCroix is
LaCroix. I've always called it LaCroix so many times. LaCroix. It's a cranberry.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, aren't you usually drinking a beer or maybe a cocktail? And while we do, and we have an hour-long show, you can see an hour of it. I mean, I start drinking my one cocktail earlier while we're setting this show up. But what we've got here today is kind of a point to make. This is...
Well, it's Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend.
They're doing the usual things that they do on...
oh, you bet.
Yeah.
I mean, they have more grants to put more patrol officers out for DUIs and not wearing your seatbelt. And it's a perfect time to grab yourself a soda, a water, something, a glass of juice I had earlier. It's...
drive sober.
Drive
definitely
sober.
Don't.
We have had so many wrecks, and we didn't even cover.
Right. Oh, there's been a lot of wrecks. Oh my goodness, our show would be another hour if we did the wrecks.
Jasper and Lorraine.
Yeah.
I mean, people in a hurry, and I mean, and I'm not saying any of those people were drunk, but I mean, let's at least get this part out. Let's not be drunk and driving. I mean, it's not a good thing. And so our point was today that we're drinking water. And it's not that we're scared. It's because we want to make this point to you. Do not drink and drive. I mean, like I said, when I nurse a cocktail or a beer for 2 hours, I'm not concerned about going out and driving, but this is to make a point. They're out there in force this weekend and tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow. They're looking for drunks.
And even when they're not, definitely we want to make sure.
Yes, I mean, but it just brings it up.
This gives us the opportunity to talk about it, which is really what it's all about, for sure.
Don't drink and drive. I mean, it's a horrible thing to do. The life you save might be your own. And, when I was younger, I thought that was the corniest little catch line, but that is truth right there. I mean...
No,
we've seen so many drivers kill themselves lately. It's just ridiculous.
Way too many in just the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
it's not insane. It is insane, and it's not enough for us to even talk about it because you can't even mention it enough.
Yeah. So what is in my hand? Water.
Water. Good.
I mean, it's flavored some
Thank you, Mike.
sissy foo-foo water. I like these. I also like bubbly. I drink quite a bit of bubbly at home.
Yeah,
they're good.
Sure.
They're good.
And that takes us then, Mike, to our Lost and Found.
Yeah.
I think that was ending there, and we wanted to talk about
it's okay.
Lost and Found.
Yay, Lost and Found.
16.4K members. Oh, the slide changed again. What the heck?
What's in my hand? Still water.
Still water. But our Lost and Found, we feature all kinds of pets, and this is run by Cheryl. She does a great job at keeping this whole thing going, and the group is also growing all the time.
It is. It's a simple group.
Yeah. This fellow here, for instance, was recently found.
Kicking back.
Yeah. I got to tell you, this cat cracks me up. I mean, this cat was lost and has then since been found. But I mean, Mike, check this out. This cat is Bill the cat. That's
there
the cat's. I'm not
Bill
kidding you. That's the cat's name, and it's only fitting.
Well, he kind of looks like he's got that look on his face right now. He's just like just kicking back.
I know. Well, they just throw a little beer and a remote in his hand there, right?
Yeah, there you go.
And there you go. I mean, that cat's got it made. So.
Bill the cat.
Let's go on, and we'll tell people about the goodness they can find on our website. So if you go to lcmugs.com or Lane County Mugshots, if you really feel like typing long domain names in.
Yeah, longhand.
lcmugs.com will take you here, and this is where you'll see mugshots and then also the other things that we've got.
What do we got?
Shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs.
We do.
Yeah.
We need to make some more orders, I think. I think we're down to hardly any. People have been been buying them up, or
Yeah.
we're giving them away. I don't know.
I think we've given a lot of stuff away, Mike, but I think the 2022 line is being developed right now, right? So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to redesign a few things, make some special one-of-a-kind, low production number
for sure.
hoodies for the fall.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank people for joining us, and we'll tell you at least a couple different ways that you can listen to the program even after we're done. The replay will be available on Stitcher, Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, our very own Eugene Talk Radio, YouTube, and Facebook. I also want to remind folks that our next show coming up, which is Season 3, Episode 16, if you can believe it.
Wow.
Which would be on September 19th, which is 2 weeks away from now.
Perfect.
Yep. Well, that's it. And that takes us to the end of the show. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and we're just gonna let you know a little preview. We're gonna turn the fan back on as soon as you guys are gone.
Oh, man, we need that fan.
It's like 189 degrees in here right now.
And let's not forget, don't forget to...
Spay and neuter your pets.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Drive safe.